Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the After Down podcast, a podcast of streamers by streamers and for streamers. And I'm worried if we don't go ahead and start this show that we're just going to be busting all night. Welcome everybody back to this. That was a last minute on the fly decision to go with busting since you guys were kind of feeling it. Because now I got YouTube pulled up and nothing's right. I got to flip stuff around and make sure we're good to go here. But welcome everybody to the Ladders Down podcast.
Actually started the podcast to let you guys know we were going to push it back another week.
Yeah, we're going to cancel.
So, we'll see you guys. Let's see. That's April the 9th. Have a great night, everybody.
2022.
Yeah, we just really did not like the month of March. We did not have a good feel for the month of March at all.
Imposter Cone can confirm.
Yeah, we don't know who's replaced Waffle Co, but we're gonna.
All right.
These
First comes first. What happened to your beard waffle?
I had a ceremonial burning of it. If it makes you guys feel any better.
Oh, burnt hair smells the worst. Though.
Ceremonial burning? Would you give it like a Viking funeral? Like send it off to sea?
Waffle Cone, I think that the Ladders Down community deserves the truth. You had beard lice. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
It's to everybody.
No, I had.
It's from all the candy. You shouldn't have kept candy in their waffle.
Do you want beard ants? Because that's how you get beard ants.
I had pubic lice, and I shaved my beard in solidarity with the rest of my body. Wait, is that too much?
Oof.
Is that too much? Hold on. I feel like the first one was a better option. Let's go with the first one.
Let's go with the ants.
Oh.
Yes, beard ants. I had beard ants. I had a colony of ants that had nested in my beard. And I said enough is enough. All right, you guys are stealing all of my food, and I'm done. I'm done with this.
I'm gonna have to label this podcast as mature now after that.
NSFW.
Yeah, congratulations, Waffle. This is getting demonetized on YouTube now. Thanks. Thanks.
Sure.
Buddy. Sorry, I'm hosting my own stream over here. I kind of forgot to do that. Good broadcast.
Oh,
Got it. Post in
Smart.
Discord podcast happening. All right. It's been a while, guys. It's been a long time.
It's like that song. It's been a while.
Since
Since
we
we've
had
had
a
a
we
podcast.
just let that song die.
Since I had a
Fish. We can just let that go.
Who is that? Stained? Was that?
Yes.
Is
that
it-
is exactly who
is it
that
right?
is.
Oh no.
It definitely is stained.
Oh,
Rip
man.
pizza suit. Wow, you just got de-dressed real fast. It just occurred to me.
I gotta eat the whole costume now. That's the tradition. After you wear it once, you eat the whole thing. Welcome everyone to After Dark, the Ladders Down podcast. I believe that No Dice called this the After Down podcast. when we
I caught
first
that
started.
too.
Did I say
gave
after
him a
down?
face.
You
After
sure
down,
did.
baby.
I'm
But
like
rest
to-
assured.
I'm like totally
After you get to the
sober.
bottom
I don't
of the
know what
ladder.
I don't know what the problem is. I haven't even had a
Eastbound and ladders
had a
down.
drop. All right. Well, the After Dark
Episode number
podcast.
11.
Mm-hmm.
We did take an extended break there, but we're back, and we promised a badass show. I don't like to under deliver, GH, but although I did do a game this time. We were gonna try to go live last week, I think, but kind of nobody was very prepared, and we were all kind of tired, so
I was
I didn't have a
exhausted.
game. But we do have a game, as per usual. It's a pretty good one too. I'm excited about it. I think that Waffle Cone's going to do well in this game. I just
Ooh.
feel like you're going to do well.
Let's do it.
But yes, thank you everybody for being here. Ladders Down, After Dark, episode 11. Guys, it's been a month since we've all sat together and hung out. How have the streams been? What have you been playing? No Dice, I can tell from your gear tonight what you've been hooked on. Everybody knows, but why don't you tell us what you've been playing?
I've actually, as much as I've played Division 2, I've checked out a few different games. Because it's just been that long since we've been together. But the main game, obviously, representing for my DC agents, I've been completely hooked on Division 2. It's just such a good loot grind, MMO, ARPG, gear fest. I put in the reason. I think I was the first cancellation. I was thinking if we take all the cancellations in the last month, I think I was the first one because it was scheduled on the night of Division 2 launch. And I
Actually,
was
did we
like,
each take
That's right.
turns?
I think we each took turns.
I feel more responsible than the rest because I was like, I'm sleepy.
Well, I'll
I
get
think
to
you were
that.
Everyone's like, we're doing the podcast. I'm like, and then No
I-
Dice came in. I'm like, but No Dice.
Trying to get me to vote, trying to get me to like vote on a cancellation. The first cancellation, I was like, "Hey, admins, this podcast is on the same day as Division 2 launch, and you don't understand. If we do this podcast, I'll be 2 hours behind everybody, and that's just unacceptable. I need to play as soon as the game is out." The next 3 days, I proceeded to put in 43 hours across 3 days into the Division 2 because I had those days off work. And by the end of it, I went outside and was like, ugh, like I haven't gone that hard on a game launch in a really long time. So that's been a lot of fun. We've got a huge clan going. We've got like 30 people in the clan.
How can people join it if they want to join it, Dice?
If you're interested in the clan, just drop by my Discord channel. You can go to twitch.tv/NoDiceTV, !Discord. And there's a DC Agents comms channel, which is for all of our division talk, because for a couple days it was just flooding general chat. So just go there, and if you're in the game and you have the game, you can just send a clan invite to the Card Sharks. Let me know what your tag is on Twitch in case your names are different, and we'll get you in. We've got a bunch of people playing, and there's still 20 open slots.
Been doing really well, so
yeah, we're getting excited. The last World Tier drops on Friday, so big content update. And then the raid is actually scheduled for release relatively soon as well. So I've been playing that, and I also picked up Satisfactory.
Oh yeah,
Satisfactory, a neat little indie gym on the rise. It's like 3D Factorio. I streamed that for a few days, and that really got its teeth into me. That's very fun. If you're even slightly on the fence about it, it's worth the $30. It's a really good game.
GH and I are going to co-stream it, No Dice. Once it comes out of early access in 2023. Gamer Heroine already told me she's really excited about playing it once it's out of early access. Though.
Well, if you want to co-stream it with anybody while it's in early access, just hit me up.
Why would anybody do that though?
I've had a lot of fun with it.
Released in 2023.
I hope the development cycle for it doesn't go down the early access hellhole route, because it really is a pretty good game. It really is.
That's not an actual
game.
date that they stamped on it, is
no.
it?
No, I am trolling GH because I was like, GH, we should get this and play this for the first time together. And she's like, I'm going to wait until it's out of early access. I'm like, that's going to be like years, GH.
I really want to play it, but I just don't want another Raft game where like I play like a bunch of hours of it and I feel like even after it comes out of early access, I can't enjoy it anymore.
If somebody had told me that Raft had 15 hours of content when it first came out, I probably would have waited too.
Yeah.
But this game seems like it has more than that. I mean, how many hours you got in it, Dice?
I mean, I've put in about 20 hours, but I'm bad. So I mean, there's some talk on there on like the community forums and the Reddit for the game. People are saying it's a little short on content, but like there's 3 different worlds, like there's 3 different maps to play. If you're good, you can finish the game in like 7 or 8 hours. So people are like, there's only 8 hours of content. I'm like, but you haven't played the other maps, so that's, it depends on your outlook. I'm really slow at it because I'm stupid.
Well, we all know that Gamer Heroine is always negative, always looking for the worst in people and things.
I think this game is
Wafflecone would have no problem shooting GH
right up the alley of GH.
Bingo. 69, baby.
I feel like we should explain this meme if it's gonna be in the podcast.
Yeah. That's fine.
Just throw it out there and leave it. Leave it as is.
But that's what
What
I've
you
been
playing, Wafflecone?
On stream, pretty much nothing but Menu Masters and Tarkov, the most popular games on Twitch.
Sure, yeah, 2 of them.
But yeah, honestly, off stream, pretty much the same exact games. Apex was like just a firework into the sun, and then just died for me. Like I have not played that game in about 3 or 4 weeks. So for me, it's pretty much been nothing but Menu Masters and Tarkov at this point. Real diversity there. Yeah. Although I did get Dying Light gifted to me recently, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to trying that out. So
Dying Light's a good one.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit of an older. I mean, I don't know. That's not too old, right? When did that come out? I know the second one's coming out, right?
2015, 2016.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
There's a Dying Light 2 releasing soon, I think, too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's and that's kind of like the person that gifted it to me. They were excited for the other one and they wanted me to play
Cool.
the first one. So yeah,
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
What about you, GH?
Well,
GH?
a little bit of everything, I guess. So my usual like colony games. But I did start and finish Outlast DLC and started Outlast 2 today.
I was watching some of the
And
Outlast 2 today. It was Outlasty. Yeah.
it was very Outlasty. I don't know. They changed some good things, but they also got rid of some of the good things. But
Oh, that game. Oof.
I felt waffle stress from all the way from Kentucky.
I couldn't do it. Like I was even watching. I was like, nah. Because I played the first one for about 10 minutes. I was like, all right, uninstall.
The second one is way more story driven, so
The first one was worth finishing. If you uninstalled after 10 minutes, if you could really tough through that game,
No.
dude.
Screw that, man. That game went from 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. I was like, all right, nope.
One of the most
Give me a gun or a blade or something.
No.
Not a freaking camera.
Dude, my revealing moment for that game in Outlast, when you're outside the building, you're like, all right, this is creepy, that's fine. And then you get in the window and it's like pitch black, and it's like, press this button to use your night vision. And your first
Yeah.
exposure to the night vision camera, I was like, that's worse, and I put it away. I was like, I'd rather it be pitch black. Why is it worse when I can see things? This is so much worse. Like, ugh.
I
And
just
then
hated the night
ugh.
vision in Outlast because like it was so awkwardly bright compared to the darkness. Like it physically hurt when you had to turn on the night vision.
Yeah,
They made it better for the second one, but
It was a struggle, but that game was good.
For me, Outlast is like Resident Evil, or not Resident Evil. It's like Silent Hill, but they just take away all your weapons. They're like, here's Silent Hill, but you can't defend yourself.
yeah, I love survival horror and I love Silent Hill.
Ugh.
And last Tuesday you played,
Oh,
Emily-
Emily
Emily
wants
wants
to
to
play.
play.
Oh,
which I watched devolve from scared of the jump scares to like annoyed by the end of them. Like,
What was
get
this?
the fuck out of here, clown man! Like it's called Emily Wants to Play, right?
yeah, Emily wants to play.
It sounds like
She
another
went
one of
from
those.
being terrified of it to like just being like, "Fuck you, Emily."
My second clip of that was me watching the first clip of me like death screaming and like, wow, that was a really good scare moment. I closed the clip and immediately got scared again because I waited too long in the game or some shit. It was just immediate
think
death.
I think that we needed to have like a bitch counter on the stream there too, because it's like, "Oh, you dumb bitch, you dumb bitch."
It was so like the whole time. Like that's how I stayed from being scared is I just kept calling her a dumb bitch.
That's awesome.
Good.
There should have been a dumb bitch counter for sure.
Emily, you dumb bitch. Yeah, I've been back on the Minion Masters a couple days a week. Still enjoying it.
Now,
their
I
content
wanna-
release,
I want to
Minion
talk about your
Masters.
resurgence, because the last time we did a podcast, you had uninstalled. You were like, I'm done. And then I
Yeah,
came
it
back
was,
one
it was
day.
that day too. That day, I think I went like right before the podcast and was like, "We're gonna play something else because I'm done with this." They didn't make the change that I kind of wanted to see in the game, but they did. But basically, the meta moved on. The meta
Yeah.
moved on from it because it became. I would say that roughly 75% of people on ranked were using the Guardian Priestess combo. And so the other 25% of the people were hard teching against it, and it basically the hard tech against that broke that meta, and so you don't see it nearly as much now. At least I'm working my way back up on the ladders, but I still don't see that combo as much. So I've been having more fun with it,
That's
and
good.
honestly, I've been taking how I've been playing it has changed. Where if I am annoyed by the deck that I'm playing, I'll just concede and go to the next game. It's like it's not worth sitting there and losing to it. I'll just move on and go to the next one. So I don't know. Maybe like as a viewer that might be annoying to you that I'm not like trying to beat some of this hardcore meta decks, but it's a quality of life for me is I can just move on next game next. And kind of the other cool thing that's happened or changed or that I've been streaming is that we decided, my friend Federal Ghost and I, on Friday nights are going to be basically doing like blind races, co-op streams of newer games, which is really fun. Both of our communities really enjoy hanging out with each other, seeing the competitions and stuff. So This last Friday we played Super Hot, which was very fun, if not a little short, but really fun game, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. So
If you guys ever want to do a Celeste race,
get out of here,
Count
we already
me
did a
in.
Celeste race. You won the Celeste race, okay?
no, I enjoyed
should
this.
just
I
all
enjoyed
play
the Super
Getting
Hot
Over
race. I'd
It's
play
funny
Getting
'cause-
Over
Wafflecott
again.
would win.
It's funny because
I
Federal
love
Ghost
Getting
has
Over It.
like a lot of experience speed running some different games, and so we were kind of joking, like, what was it? What was the one game that I was like, we'll race to the first win in Tetris 99, and he's like, yeah, okay, we'll race Cuphead 200%, which he does in like, an hour and 10 minutes or something like that.
insane.
So, but yeah, so that's a new thing that we're doing every Friday, which has been really fun, and I'm excited to do more collaboration with him.
I enjoyed the Super Hot race. That was cool. That was a neat game.
Yeah, that was a really fun game, and a lot of people that were coming in were talking about it in VR too, which is like,
Ooh.
that would be crazy. That would be crazy good.
Because it turned
You
out
should
I
give that
was.
a shot there, WaffleCon. You ever use your
I-
VR?
So GH knows the game that, like, pretty much the only game I've played a lot, which is Robo Recall. But
Oh.
honestly, the time that I've played that game almost made it worth getting the headset. Almost. I'm still a little bit regretting buying that headset.
I think
But,
I think I suggested against buying it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done it. Here's the best part. 6 months later, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna make a wireless edition." I was like, "Great!
You
It costs the same too."
Well, since the last time we met, friends, all of us who are lucky enough to be Twitch affiliates have a few more emotes in
Yeah.
our repertoire. So, have you guys been enjoying the new? It's not really a question, is it? Everybody's been enjoying the new emotes. It's awesome for our viewers. It's more value for a subscription to the channel. It's just been really cool. So, has everybody filled all of their? Does everybody here have access to the 3 that are available right now?
Yep.
I think everybody does. So have you filled your 3 emote slots yet, or are you
Sort of.
thinking about emote number 4 and 5?
Sort of.
I'm waiting for Gamer Heroine to finish my third one.
Yeah.
She knocked out the second one. We have an actual card shark emote. It is a shark with a giant spade on the side of
we
it.
see some of those in chat. I
And
see
it
Purple
looks-
Dido out there. I know we can get some.
it
shark-
I've
looks
seen Chris Better
great.
using it too.
It looks great. She did such a good job on that. Thank you, Gamer Heroine,
No
for
problem.
that dope emote. It's so good. And I think for our third emote, we're gonna have a Bustin' emote. GH is supposed to be brainstorming on a Bustin' emote for us.
Mhm. To be fair, you gave me a challenge.
I did. 4th and 5th, I have no idea if I even have enough sub points. I have to look at the qualifications.
I'm gonna redrop that link in the Twitch chat, guys. If you're a Twitch affiliate and you want to see if you meet the requirements, or even just get more information on these extra emote slots, there it is in the chat.
So emote 4, which will be available sometime this month. They actually released the March emote earlier than I expected, because Twitch is usually like, alrighty, it's March 31st at 11:58 p.m. Here you
Here's
go.
your emote.
But they actually got that going about 2 weeks into March. And I think, Gamer Heroine, I think you hit it on the head when we were talking about it, as far as I think they're trying to work through the queue
Hmm.
of approvals and then open up the next slot so they can have the new set of approvals come through. Because the first, well, it's technically the second emote that we got at $4.99, I uploaded that day within hours of the announcement, and it was approved within an hour. The the third emote, the second one that we got extra, took about 2 days or so, and that's kind of what I was hearing on Ladders Down as well, as far as approval time. So I think they are trying to work through the queue and then open up the next one. So it's 35 subscriber points for the 4th emote, which will be released this month, and then 50 or more for the 5th emote in May, and that'll be our last emote as affiliates.
I'm good on all those.
I mean, just this is so good. If it makes the sting of not having partnership, it takes the sting away a little bit, because really you want to be partner for the emotes. Like, the check mark is great, and I think everybody here probably would want that and love that, but the emotes are what brings the value to your community, and so Twitch has given us this really, really nice tool that they didn't have to. They didn't for a long time.
It's almost like it's incremental tiers between getting affiliate and getting partners. It's the weirdest thing.
Whoa, now.
Hang on, Waffle.
I know, it's crazy.
If you want to hear more about what WaffleCon's talking about, DM me on Discord. What do you guys think that? I mean, I just had a couple of. I think we have like 21 month resubs now on the channel, and I know that probably some affiliates are working toward a 2-year sub. Do you suppose we'll get the same loyalty badges?
I don't know.
I mean, because it only locks up, or it only goes up to 12 months now. Do you guys think we'll get do you think that'll be the next thing, or do you think that's going to be a partner only type thing?
That's probably going to be partner only.
I think so, yeah. That would be my bet.
They would have released more at once if that was the case. I mean, we just got the loyalty badges not that long ago. I would be very surprised.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen until they give something else that's partner only. Like, they got to keep the perks kind of balanced. I would be surprised if we saw 2-year sub badges, even though I've got a couple that are 21 and 22 months that get
exactly
close.
Yeah, I mean, we're nearing the 2-year mark,
but I don't think that'll happen though.
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Not for a bit.
I didn't think this was ever going to happen, to be honest with you. So I don't. It's going to be hard for them to, like, I'm not going to be as surprised when they start giving more stuff to affiliates, because
affiliates make Twitch a lot of money. Let's be real.
They do.
So this is something that our buddy EPB had asked on Twitter. I don't know what the answer is, but who do you think has more combined subs? All affiliates or all partners?
See, I think the answer to this is probably partners, but let me say that with a caveat. I do think if you removed maybe like the top, just even like 2 or 3 partners, I think you'd be surprised if you just took out those like 2 or 3, how well it would stack up. But I think the top 5 partners probably edge out, like being a part of that same partner pool. I think that they probably technically edge us out, but I think, especially if you knock out those top few, I think that affiliates win that. But that's all just speculation.
That's hard to say.
I lean towards saying affiliates, just because the massive number of affiliates. But then I think there was some statistic on something else that we saw where there's 20% of affiliates who are streaming to less than 5 viewers. So you can't imagine that, they have a great deal of subs combined, but there's a lot of freaking affiliates out there. So who knows? But you're right. In any case, Dice, you're totally right, which is that affiliates are making Twitch a lot of money. So keep them happy, keep us happy.
I mean, yeah, even if it's like comparing it to partners is one thing, it's still, you remove it and it's a large chunk.
It's a lot. Yeah,
it's a large chunk. Like, just knowing like my affiliate sub numbers with my average viewership, there's and to think that there's affiliates like you, Fish Shoot, that are a good 2 to 3 times my average numbers. Like, we're not gonna obviously get into details here, but it's a lot of subs. It's a lot of subs. Just in Ladders Down, I'm willing to bet there's a lot of subs.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah.
It's big.
Another thing that's coming out soon, which is, I think, is already available to partners, I believe, which is the multi-stream, kind of the built-in Twitch's very own.
Is it Squad?
Squad stream, yeah, that's it. So you can actually go live essentially with other. Right now, partners can go live with other partners, and as the viewer, if No Dice and I are partners and we go live. I mean, we are partners, No Dice, but just life
for life. Yeah, right. Hey.
But if we go live on your stream like that, then you can watch either of our streams. And I'm not super certain. I know that Wookie had maybe done some more research into it, but our buddy Let Wookie win out there in the chat. But I'm not sure really how viewership counts towards that. This was a big thing that they announced at TwitchCon last year.
Yeah,
and they made it seem like you would essentially share viewers, so it didn't matter who they were watching. That whoever was in both streams was going to count for both streams. But apparently, it's a little bit more complex than that. Like, you'd actually have to have my screen up on No Dice's channel in order for me to get the view, and then I don't know. So, but it's exciting. I'm excited to check it out. It's going to be cool. One of the big things, I've talked about this several times, at TwitchCon was collaboration with other streamers. I think this is going to make that really interesting and will not necessitate going out to a third-party website anymore to I'm co-streaming with blah blah blah, pull up our multi-Twitch,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So
And
are you
I've
guys excited about
watched
doing
it.
that collaboration at all? Or
I'm excited for it just because it is better than multicast. Like I've watched, because right now it's partner only, but I've watched a number of squad streams. Thanks Battle
okay.
Royales, by the way, for having to call everything a squad. I've watched a couple of squad streams. The interface is super nice, and the one that you click on is slightly larger, but then you can flip them back and forth, and there's a simple toggle for which chat you type in up at the top, and it's all really clean. And I think it's great. Like multicast worked, but it'd be nice to just have it be here. Like there's no reason Twitch can't host it on their own platform. So I think it's gonna
Is
be awesome.
there a solution to the audio issues, like where you have to choose one person to listen to?
No, you still have to choose one person to listen to. But most of these squad streams, air quotes, usually the people are on comms anyway. So like when Fish and Federal Ghost were racing, I could hear both of them on either stream because they were in Discord. And so it's not a huge deal. But unfortunately, no, you still have to manually tweak volumes on either or to hear that one. But I can think of multiple people I'd like to squad stream with on some sort of game.
Well, a few years after Factorio comes out, we're all
No, it's Satisfactory. It's not Factoria.
all right. Yeah, shit.
It's 3D
Shit.
Factoria.
Yeah, so that's I like the stuff that Twitch is kind of tossing our way, and some of the stuff that they've talked about is finally starting to roll out. So it definitely feels like like I said before, they're trying to provide more value, right? I don't think they're shaking in their boots. I'm sorry, Waffle, go ahead.
No, you're good. I just think that, and I almost appreciate it. I just think Twitch they're not really worried about hurting anybody's feelings. Like, I think for them, A, they just want to make money, which can you blame them? And B, I think they really do want to improve the platform as a whole and the medium of content creation. I think they want us to stand out versus a YouTube or any other platform that may exist, whether it's live streaming or actually uploading videos or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that even if they do some of these things that we guess that they might not do, like the 2-year loyalty badge or something like that, I don't think that some of the biggest partners are just gonna be like, you know what, nope, I'm done, I'm going to Mixer, I'm done with this. I'm pretty sure they're gonna stay exactly where they are, and Twitch is gonna benefit from it. So I think they're just making those decisions based on that, whether or not they're gonna be more successful as a company, and whether or not it's gonna improve the platform, and that's encouraging for me, and I think it should be encouraging for everybody. I don't think anybody should be upset or discouraged by it, because all it's going to do is making it a stronger brand as a whole. Just my 2 cents.
Well, and as more and more platforms come out, like Mixer and now D Live, there's even another streaming platform that's got a few thousand concurrent users daily. Like more and more streaming platforms come out, they're going to try to offer new things. Then Twitch is going to try to counter because they want to stay on top of everything. Ever since they split with Justin TV, they've kind of held the reins. So like Mixer comes out, it's like, well, why should I go to Mixer? And they're like, 0 latency broadcasting, and Twitch goes, fine, I'll hit this button. Didn't want to hit this button.
Okay.
We've had this for years, but it's expensive. But all right, we'll flip the switch. Congratulations, everyone's got low latency broadcasting. All that stuff pops out so quick, it's kind of insane. So
yeah, there's not a lot of lead up to it or like heads up. Like the affiliate program, I don't remember if you guys remember where you were and when that first happened, but like it was like, hey, we're gonna do this soon, and then like the next day they're like, it's live right now. And so like I was watching one of my favorite streamers, and he just started getting sub after sub after sub. He didn't have the alert set up, he didn't know it was going to be released that day, like 0 heads up.
That's awesome.
I was I think I was streaming Stardew Valley to absolutely 0 viewers when they announced the affiliate program.
Yeah
because you guys started like kind of significant. Who was the first to start streaming here? Was it No Dice or WaffleCon?
I mean, mine would have been would have been February of
Me too.
2017.
Yep, February 2017.
And then GH after
What
that.
day,
April.
Waffle?
What's
That
that?
April.
What day?
April
what day?
5th.
I think technically, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say I have my first 3 Hearthstones.
Oh, that's right.
My
That's right.
laying in my bed
Somebody
on
in
my
chat.
on my laptop.
Somebody in chat, go to Waffle Cone's VODs and tell us when the very first one was uploaded.
I started
But-
February 11th.
They were uploaded then, so
February
I don't think it'll give you the actual date because
Ah,
what I
you
did
might be
was
right.
I pulled the archive video and then I uploaded it as like a permanent video on my Twitch page. So I don't think it'll.
So Waffle Cone, laptop on his chest, just like,
And it
hey
sounds like
guys, welcome to the
it sounds
stream."
like a Chinook helicopter is landing because the fan on my laptop is fighting for its dear life to keep it from blowing up.
Top
Because it's 10
quality
years old.
content. Oh my.
Well, another, yeah, we'll move on to the next topic. But thank you, Twitch. Like,
Yeah, thanks for the
honestly,
stuff.
Thank you. He didn't have to do it, and it makes my stream better, and I think it makes everybody's streams a lot better. So thank you. Thank you for thinking of affiliates, not just working on stuff for your partners, which is important too. You know, I don't want to.
Oh, absolutely.
And partners got some extra stuff out of this as well. We should maybe. I'll read that real quick. So yeah, so this is extra emote slots for partners as well, with an emote update. It's up to 8 emote slots now for 80 subscriber points. And I think it's still tiered beyond that, but
But they
Mhm.
added more per slot or per
Mhm.
tier. Yeah.
so yes, thank you, Twitch. Now, no, thank you, European Union.
the tough
Article
topic.
13 that's been really in the news, and our CEO, even though we're subcontractors, our Twitch CEO, you know, put out some information against this Article 13 that was passed in the European Union. Essentially, what it does is it takes the onus from right now. The onus on copyrighted material is on you as the streamer, essentially. So if you're using a bunch of copyrighted material, Twitch gets the complaint, they shut down your stream, and any kind of February 27th, Waffle Cone was uploaded.
I started 2 weeks earlier.
Oh,
That
all
was
right,
when
no,
it was
oldest
uploaded.
streamer. Thank you, James.
Dreamed it.
Mm,
So, but what this Article 13 does is basically makes Twitch a liable party in that as well. So they want Twitch to put more controls in place to make sure that people aren't using and streaming copyrighted material. And I think that this was sold by the Panic group as like they want to take away your memes. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to take away your memes. But there's nuance to it. I don't think it's a good thing, but also what was just voted on last month is not going to take effect for up to 2 years, I think. So there's still definitely chances for this to not go into place and not happen, but it's scaring a lot of our viewers and streamer friends in the EU. Anything that you guys have thought about this? I mean, I'm sure you've at least cursorily aware of, you know, what's going on.
well, we had something similar a few years back in the States with the CISPA bill.
True.
Right. That was a little bit different.
Neutrality.
That was a little bit
Mhm.
different because it wasn't particularly just about copywritten material. It was just more about taking away the last free bastion of entrepreneurship in the world, which is the internet, and privatizing it so that websites could screw you. It didn't have any of the specific copyright laws, but that was a huge thing. That was a huge thing when that was actually going through the House and the Senate and everything. This one in particular, in the UK, I know it's got a couple of people worried because like there's one of my favorite drum streams is lives in the UK, and it's like 99% of the music you play is copywritten, and
Yep.
if it becomes, you know, I don't know. It's so hard for me to comprehend. It's so hard for me to comprehend why anyone thinks this is a good idea. And of course, I don't believe for a second that the politicians that passed it think it's a good idea. I think they make money off of it somehow, or they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It's and they were the whole comparison to memes is because every meme you see is a screenshot from a movie or something or a TV
Yeah.
show or something like that. Well, that's copywritten material. You can no longer use that on your Twitch stream. The whole thing's kind of, I don't know, because you can argue about IP laws and copyright laws and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, man, this stuff's harmless. This stuff's harmless, and all you're doing is limiting the ability of freelance content creators who are trying to do something on their own, and you're making their lives a hell of a lot harder in the name of people who are really, really, really rich. So I hate it. I hate it. I feel for our European brethren. If I had more details, I could go in depth, but me and politics don't mix too well when it comes to screen time. So I'm going to pass the mic before I get into some really neopolitical bullshit.
I just think that this
It
is going to be one of those
sucks.
things.
It sucks, and that's the
Yeah.
bottom line.
It sucks, and
Yeah.
we're gonna watch. We're gonna see the consequences of it play out, right? Like that's the thing, and with net neutrality too, I think we're gonna see the consequences play out. Still, it's not. We haven't seen what they can actually do. yet, I
Exactly.
feel like.
Well, and a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying, well, they might not do anything, but that's not the point.
Possible.
They shouldn't
That's
have the
possible.
ability to.
Right.
They shouldn't have that kind of
Exactly.
power in the first place.
They may just let enough time pass until we all forget about it, and then.
Yeah.
Drop
and
that
then
hammer.
Suddenly, you're in the internet slow lane. Yeah, exactly right.
But I mean, but the great thing about it, you can. There's certainly all kinds of philosophical debates about capitalism and the free market and things like that. But at the end of the day, if something ain't cutting it, you can go to the shop down the street and be like, hey, this place isn't getting it done for me. But obviously,
right, Waffle, like how your internet's shitty and how you can, you go out.
well,
and get your internet.
unless you're me and you have no options, I think I'm gonna get that
You live down a
HughesNet.
damn dirt road.
I'm gonna get one of those satellite internet connections with HughesNet. I get up to 35 megabytes per second.
Oof.
Oh, it hurts.
Now, is that up or down?
Guys,
I hope that's up, for the love of God.
I only
No,
get
that's-
25 up.
upload? Do you have any idea what my upload is?
Probably
It's
like
probably
3.
a
Like two.
potato.
Let's not talk about it right now. Let's
I
say
think
that.
Waffle. I think you top out at 3 up. Waffle.
Yep.
Oof.
3 up and 20
Aw.
down. Yep, that's
Oof.
copper for you, baby.
I think when it comes to sorry, I'm going
Hey,
through a tunnel.
But you gotta give the waffle stream a little bit of credit for what my up and my down is. That is, my stream
Yeah.
could be a lot worse. That's for
I
sure.
mean, you always are like, oh, the quality is terrible. I'm like, I don't know, looks fine to me.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're
That
live
bit
at all.
rate, that bit rate is in the tank, though. I'll tell you that right now. My
What
bit
is it
rate
like? What is it like?
gross.
1200?
That's where I max out, and some days I'm like, I need to go about 950-ish just to make things safe here. Yeah, rough
Ouch.
stuff. Yeah, hopefully I'm crossing my fingers for fiber though, because they say we have 80% coverage of all of our customers right now with fiber, and they said they're not expanding anymore. They're just going to start filling in all the gaps with fiber, but that'll still be like probably 7 years from now.
You are the deepest
with the
gap, Waffle.
satisfactory.
What's that?
With a satisfactory release date.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah, it'll
look,
coincide with the release of
That's
Satisfactory.
it. We'll
Oh
all
my
co-stream
God.
together when I get fiber and it comes out of.
And we can
early
use Squad Stream.
4-way squad
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah.
So I'll be
it's
partners.
partner.
Exactly, Waffle. Why didn't we think of that? That's
But anyway, Article 13.
Article
Yeah,
13.
we didn't talk about it much, did we?
I think it's
I
really
think there's
important
a
when
lot
you're
of
looking
stuff
at this to
also.
like see all the points of view that's happening. We had to look at Twitch as a whole. We had to look at the American streamers, the European streamers, the European viewers, like, and it also affects YouTube. I know we're talking from the point of Twitch, but it's like a really big issue, not just for content creators on this website, but other major websites. Like Twitch is like 13th top most viewed website in the US and 23rd in the world. If all of Europe can't access Twitch in general because Twitch will get sued out their ass because like
Yeah.
one person's playing Despacito, like that's gonna drastically affect markets, not just like Twitch, but Amazon. Like this could be catastrophic if it's not taken care of properly.
That's a really strong point. She's way more prepared than all of us. That's a huge
Way
point.
more.
It's like she read an article or something, you guys.
Maybe 13 of them.
She's like she read an article 13.
I don't know, God, I went through like 50 memes. I think I have a pretty
Well, and that's
good understanding.
well, and that's a good point that she makes, because that's the thing that's going to happen if the EU says, "Dear Twitch, you are now liable to protect this content, and we're going to sue the shit out of you if you don't enforce it." Twitch ain't going to hire enough people to do that. They're just going to cut off EU IPs.
Right.
Exactly.
That's all they're
Yeah,
going to do.
YouTube.
They're going to be, sorry, we're region locked now. Europe will have to find its own streaming service, because you can't monitor every European stream like that and then crack down and individually ban people like that. Twitch can't even find enough staff to ban porn in the just chatting section. Like actual porn. Like, it's there in the late wee hours of the night. You guys can find it.
How do you know?
Hold on one second.
Hold
You've
on
never-
one second, you guys.
You've never
I
done this?
didn't know this.
I mean, I did. I
Yeah.
watched in just chatting, no dice. I did watch a somebody was playing a UFC game that was very realistic.
Yeah, and he had a controller in his hands. Like, it was best graphics.
Very realistic. That.
All right, rein it back in.
But yo, you do like Twitch isn't gonna hire that kind of, and it's happened. You can go Google image search. People stream porn all the time. Normally they get banned at about 15 to 20 minutes, but some of them have been up for hours. It's like,
Yeah.
Twitch ain't gonna hire any more staff. They're gonna cut off EU, and then the market in EU for VPN services is gonna go through the roof
Right.
as people start streaming behind VPNs if they don't already.
I tell you what, though, I think that generationally, the people that watch Twitch are like, and we can all include ourselves, obviously, because we watch and stream on Twitch. Generally kind of lazy. I mean, I don't think that's a stretch, right? In some ways, not in every way.
Have
Don't
you
get
not
me
seen
wrong.
my chiseled physique, Waffle Cone?
Not in every way, but generally we're kind of lazy. But I tell you what, though, if there's any way to muster up these types of people, which is us, it's taking away our video games and our interwebs and our social medias, and it's like, oh, well, I suddenly don't have anything to do. Maybe I'll walk down to the courthouse or walk down to City Hall or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could see if this thing actually looks like it's gonna roll through. I think you're gonna see some pretty wily youngsters out there.
I hope so. I hope so, because all these types of bills are passed by like the type of people you'd have to show how to put an attachment on an email to.
Yeah. Just
Like-
unplug the router for 5 seconds and then plug it back in. It'll fix
Yeah,
everything.
whether it
Just
was
power cycle the
CISPA
internet. and
here,
everything will be all right.
yeah, CISPA here, the recent net neutrality debate, the Article 13. You look at these politicians, and you automatically go, "Those people don't know shit
Right.
about
They still
what
got the
they're
flip
legislating
phone
right
clipped
now.
to their belt.
They don't know anything about this
Blackberry
technology."
Oh, I'm sorry.
A BlackBerry. BlackBerry
and, We
Storm.
can always look to Twitter for the worst possible take. And I don't have the tweet in front of me, but I can sum it up in that the tweet was essentially like, "Well, I'm not from the EU, and I don't watch anybody in the EU, so fuck those guys."
What an American outlook. What an American Hank Hill fucking outlook on the whole
You
situation.
could always just go to Twitter and just find the worst possible take on any
Ugh.
situation. So I saw that one. That person got torn apart pretty quickly.
Well, we don't feel that way, Chad.
No, certainly not.
I watch a ton of amazing EU streamers during my days off.
Yep. Well,
So-
Gamer Heroine's in the EU, so
She's in the EU time zone with her
she
streams.
moved from Canada to E EU.
This is why no one believes I'm American.
Well, you don't like pizza,
You're
so
not American.
that's a
why you
big
hate
hint.
Pizza and ice
That's a big
cream.
hint that you don't like
I
America.
ate pizza and ice cream. I don't hate pizza.
I don't believe him.
Ate.
Potato.
That meme got away from me
Oh.
so much. I
I-
tried to like. She was clearly pissed off at me, so I tried to rein it in. It's not possible.
No, it's too late. It's much too
It's
late.
not
Like,
possible.
so what happened was boyfriend was gone. I went out, bought a bunch of junk food, and just like marathoned so much gross food. And then like there was no one around to judge me, except for I was like, okay, I need to be judged a little bit. So I told Fish Soup, and I said I
First mistake.
ate pizza and ice cream. And then he was like, what?
Don't
And I
tell
was
me
like, why
anything.
is he wedding this? And he like screenshot it, posted in every Discord before I even realized what my typo was.
Within 3 minutes, it was in 3 different Discords.
And then like it was exploding in each one, so I was having to like 8.
Nope. GH hates pizza. Confirmed.
And ice cream.
It hurts me inside.
What a communist. Sees the
We
means
will
of production.
continue to follow Article 13 if there's anything more to discuss. We'll keep an eye on it, but we feel for our EU friends, and like
Yeah,
Dice
best of
said,
luck.
we just kind of went through something similar. So it sucks that there's a lot of old people in charge of the internet who don't understand it. Kind of
Yeah.
what it boils down to for me.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we've talked about goals before, as far as what your goals are for streaming, and that's like super important right now for our buddy Zune Master, who is
Killing the
staring down
game.
partnership as far as I'm concerned. I think we may very well start one of these podcasts one day with the very first member of Ladders Down to be partnered, who didn't join us as a partnered streamer. So yeah, any little bit helps for Zune, who streams during the day, and he's a Minion Master streamer, and he's getting real close. So I would urge everybody to go and support him and drop him the lurk and say hello and meet him.
There
He's
he
doing
is.
some awesome stuff over there, and he's out there in the chat right there. So click on the name and give him the follow. But he brought up some questions about goals, and specifically like, is it like how, I guess, and maybe Zune, you can clarify in chat, but like how, do you, is the goal something that's in your head? You're saying like, okay, well, this week I'd like to do this, or by this time I'd like to see this happen with my streamer. I'd like to engage with my community in this way, and I want them to participate in this certain thing. Is it something that you make very clear to your community? Is it something that's internalized for you? Do you have goals? I mean, I'm not trying to single you out, Wafflecone, but recently you said to me kind of like, I'm just in this to have fun at this point, and it's, that's, I'm not gonna, what may come may come.
No, that's not unfair. Yeah, I mean, just to clarify that, so we even talked about February 2017. I'm full-time, have full-time job, father of 3 kids, beautiful wife, and possibly thinking about having a 4th. And I've been doing this for well over 2 years now at this point, and you kind of make your crack at it, and I don't think I think maybe when I very first started, there was this thought, oh man, maybe I could get partnered. And I think when I kind of hit my peak, I thought, hey man, maybe if things keep rolling this direction, and you have your peaks and valleys, and for me, it plateaued and it's kind of come down, and so for me, unless I want to absolutely go insane with with anxiety and stress and all kinds of things that I don't want to bring into my stream. That's what my goal has to be, is to just have fun myself and do the best I can to have fun with people that are able to stop by. And the thing that I love about it is it's zero pressure for me. I try and give the best experience I can for what I have. But then on top of that, I just want to always make sure anyone's ever in my stream or a part of my community, like there's zero pressure here. Like this is totally like if I was just hanging out watching sports or playing video games in my man cave or something, you could just come on by, hang out for a little bit, and leave whenever you want to. It's just a virtual version of that. So that's kind of my main goal, is to just have fun and try and help other people have fun if they want to come hang out. So I think at one point I had loftier goals than that, and those things evolve. It just really depends on what you're trying to, and it's not to say that I wasn't committed to it, but I just had to be real with my circumstances and way life was going. So I don't think that's unfair for you to say at all.
I think that you definitely hit on something too, Waffle, which is that you have to, I make goals, and sometimes I talk about some of them with the stream. Some of them are just internal goals that I'd like to see, or just like close friends, I'll tell you guys on Discord, kind of what I'm hoping to do with the stream and that kind of thing. But you also have to be able to reassess those goals as you move on. And that's something that I had some really difficult time doing, because I was in a similar position to where Zund is now, where I was kind of looking down partnership, like maybe it was going to happen sooner rather than later. And so I built a lot of goals around that. And I lost a lot of momentum from the stream, as happens with, I've seen a lot of people go crash right up to the wall against it and not get there. And the same thing happened to me. And so it took a lot longer than it should have to stand back and say, okay, we're going to reassess these goals a little bit, because what was happening was my disappointment for not having reached those goals was leaking into the stream.
Yeah.
And it was clear that I was like unhappy with a lot of aspects of like how the stream was going. And in some ways I still am, but it's important to reassess, and I have, and I took the last several weeks on Twitch has been way better for me, because I was able to kind of say, okay, well, these goals are out of play right now. Let's move on to some more reachable type things. I'd really like to, for instance, the collaboration with Federal Ghosts. It's a way to interact with his community and engage with his community, and opposite for him as well. And so that was like, goals can be as simple as that, just like engaging with somebody else or talking with somebody else in your stream and having them as a viewer that you haven't had before, and just like being mindful of that interaction rather than always seeing the larger picture. It's just that one person that you just met. And you've said this kind of several times, Dice, as far as like, if I get one new person a month it's going to come and hang out in the stream, then I would rather do that than have 50 people just, in there and not talking to me, or just kind of a silent member of the community. So I've been a lot more mindful over the last few weeks, and I think that my stream has improved, and I think that I've been happier doing it. So that's a really important point there, Waffle, I think, as far as just, being able to reassess and knowing when you need to let some stuff go for now and move on to some maybe smaller, more achievable goals.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing that I like that Zune posted at the initial, there was an article that went with it, or it was a Twitter thread or something.
Yeah, it's an article. I'll post it in the chat.
But they talk about the two different types of goals, which I think was really good, because I think subconsciously I had a mixture of all these things, but I'd never really taken a look at what they actually are and how they work. The idea of a tangible goal that you can control, and the idea of, it was more of a, I don't remember the exact terminology they used for it, but like an ethereal goal, like saying, I want to be partner. Well, there's a lot of variables and stuff in that. That's not something you can't directly control. You can do a lot of things to get there, but there's still degrees of variance. If your goal, I think the example they get, I want to meet 5 new streamers a week. I want to expand my network by 5 new friends a week. I want to just sit and look through Twitch and find other streamers my size. I want to meet 5 new friends a week. Well, that's a tangible goal. That's something you can control. Yeah. And I think that's really, really a good way to separate the two, because tangible goals will make you feel good when you complete them, and there's something you can directly affect just out of your own time and work. And then hopefully, if you do enough of those, you can reach the more the loftier ones, so to speak. I have goals that are often very lofty, and I have dealt with my fair share of disappointment and self-doubt and, moments on Twitch going, is it really worth doing this anymore? Like, this is a lot of time.
It's like part of the process.
It is. Right? I think so. Like, this summer was a huge low point for me. Like 3 months in the summer, it was really tough, because I peaked around the beginning of last year. Like, I got like 2 back-to-back huge Boga raids in the same week, and Marbles was out, and I was hitting like 60 viewer streams. And then within a week, I realized, holy shit, I'm so bored of casting Marbles, and my numbers just, and then it got warm outside, and people were like doing things outside.
It's a trap.
And I've
it's a trap.
You do kind of you lose regulars over a time. Like there are people who were, 6th, 7th, 8-month subs that I don't see anymore, and I have no idea where they went. Like I hope they're okay, and maybe one day they'll come back and say hi. But I'm sure you guys can think of a few names of people who used to watch your streams daily, and then you've got those people that have been there for almost the full 2 years of the affiliation that are just like the backbone of everything we do. So I had to take a step back around November, right around the holidays, and just go, okay, this is all right. What's happening is okay. There are still all these people that enjoy the stream, and I how many people realistically do I think would be disappointed if I stopped streaming? And the number was big enough in my own head to say this is going to be okay. And then a few podcasts ago, we were talking about our goals moving into 2019. And I'm kind of on Waffles level, not quite, but almost, where I would like to still try and be as consistent as I can and try to see some growth. But I'm 2 months out from a kid. So my only goal for the rest of the year is to keep streaming in some form or another, somewhat regularly. And I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out yet. But I think that's a tangible goal. If I say I want to do 3 streams a week, well, then that's a tangible goal that I can achieve. And if I complete those 3 streams, I'm going to say damn the rest and just try to have fun with it and keep playing way more Division 2 than I probably should. And I think that's going to be fine. But set your goals and keep them achievable. Don't go crazy.
Yeah, I want to hear from Gamer Heroine, but I just want to reiterate something you said, Dice, which is that, and Zune clarified as well, it's vision versus goal, right? Vision versus goal.
That's a good way to put it.
The vision is like, maybe I'll be a partner one day. The goal is something very tangible. And so that's exactly what I've done, No Dice, is I've gone and tried to find those actual things that I can do. It's not, 75 viewers. Well, I don't have really any control over that, right? I don't have control over what my community has planned for the night or how many new people are going to just wander in, click in.
Hey guys,
I don't have control over that.
Gonna need you to skip your dinner plans and come watch the stream.
Yeah, like, where are you? There's another famously bad take on Twitter from that, which is like a partnered streamer who switched from, I don't think this is too specific. He switched from Diablo 3 to Path of Exile. Like a Diablo 3 partnered streamer, played Diablo 3 all day, every day for years, got partnered on the site, got bored of it, switched over to Path of Exile, and then he's at like a 20 view stream down from several hundred. Tweeted out like, I have over 11,000 followers. Are you guys not getting go live notifications? Nobody's coming into the stream. It's like, dude, you switched up what you did. Like,
you played the same game every day for years.
It's just another bad take on bad Twitter take. But I completely am on that. Dice was like, I'm gonna try to work on things that are within my control. Like I can meet those 5 streamers a week. I can engage more actively with the community and in that way. And so that's definitely that resonates with me quite a bit, especially over the last few months.
Yeah.
GH.
I feel like you guys have pretty much I keep nodding my head because I'm like, yep. Same here. It's hard not to lose heart when you see dips in numbers, when you're at your lows on your stream, but having a community behind you really keeps you going. As for me setting goals, I set micro goals because long-term goals I find daunting because it's harder to separate what I can do to get there, right? And then some things are completely out of my control, I'm constantly working on trying to find other ways to make revenue during my streams through my art. I do this full time between art and Twitch. I don't have a day job. And so that's something I always am constantly working on, but to some extent that's out of my hands. So over the last I think 2 months-ish, I've been really focused on social media, and I set small goals. The reason I focused on social media was so that I can look nicer to those people that I'm trying to get them to give me money. Look, I'm big. 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 Anyways, and I even messaged Fishsuit the other day. I didn't tell him ahead of time I was working on social media, but I was like, Fish, I finally got 100 Instagram people, and I don't think you said much to that, but, like, that was, like, a huge moment for me, and then, like, I just checked Social Blade while we were talking about goals, and I've gotten, like, 50 followers since I've been, like, really focusing on this.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell anyone in my community that was something I was focusing on, but, like, that's something I can take home after I've achieved it and be like, "Guys, I did it!" Which maybe that falls on me, maybe I would have been more likely to achieve those goals if I had told the people of my stream, my community, the Ladders Down community of these goals, it might have been easier. Oh, you're big
Maybe.
oh, thank you, Rift.
I already follow you on Instagram, right? I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. All right.
I guess I need to create an Instagram so I can follow you.
I'm just gonna create a Timstagram where I just post pictures of Timothy, my cat.
I would love that. I feel
Just
like
to-
you should, like,
we guys
focus
can
on
do
Tim.
It
more.
would be way bigger than your actual Instagram.
Oh,
if
for
you had
sure,
one.
100%.
Oh, I just thought of a
Social-
great cat butt emote for you. It's Tim's butt.
Nice. Social
GH,
media goals are fun.
I'm curious just because I always feel like you are the, and don't take this personally, guys. I always feel like you're definitely the most multi-talented as far as like what you're doing with like streaming and how you integrate your art and other things like that into the community, not only just your stream but with Ladders Down and just the Twitch community as a whole and stuff like that. Do you ever find yourself torn, like in like, do you ever think like some days like, oh man, you know what, like art and some of these different projects that I'm doing outside of streaming are really picking up for me, it makes it really hard to focus on my stream maybe when it's down, and then vice versa, like there's times where maybe your stream is really kind of shooting up again, and art and things of that nature have kind of slowed down. Do you ever find like torn, like which one to focus on more?
Yeah, and actually, like, I think it nailed it on the head. Like, it's really kind of a problem for me. But I've always done this like my whole life. I've always like, not to use like a term I learned in history class in high school, but like I horizontally integrated my business instead of vertically. Like, Fish is a great example of vertical integration. He like focused on investing in his stream in like kind of a bubble fashion, and I dipped my toes in every single thing, which is
Yeah.
gets me more exposure, but because I'm really unfocused on what I'm working towards, sometimes it causes me problems. Like last October, I became obsessed with Inktober, which all of you artists out there probably know what that is. I very drastically changed what I was doing on stream and decided to just really pursue Inktober and really just dive into it. And it caused me so many problems because I was trying to focus on Twitter, trying to focus on Instagram, trying to focus on my community, trying to focus on art, trying to make a book and stream. And it collapsed. I got burnt out on art for the rest of the month. I didn't feel like streaming. I had my ultimate lowest average viewership ever. It was just atrocious. I completely backward slid and was working 70 hours a week trying to do it. So there's
Jeez.
definitely a balance to be found there.
Well, and that's got to be so demoralizing too. It's just like, not only can you say like, okay, well, this was the worst thing for this month, this was the worst thing for this month, and it's like, and then at the end of that, be like, and I worked twice as long and twice as hard to get that result.
Yeah, exactly. To just put it
Heartbreaking.
like, you have to find the right places to invest in your
Mhm.
stream, in your career, just generally in life. Balance is important. I've already dipped my toes horizontally in everything, so that's a thing. That's like set. It's just trying to find a balance. And that was kind of one of my goals at the beginning of the year, was to find a balance with being away from the computer.
Mhm.
And I think I've gotten a lot better at that. So
Yeah.
I think that it's it's funny to hear it talked about like that, GH. You know, like, you're right. It's like I don't really. I mean, like, so I started working on Twitter last year when I wrote that open letter, and then somebody told me my Twitter was garbage, and I was like, I'll show you whose Twitter is garbage. And then I spent a lot of time on social media, you know, but It's funny, GH2, how much sometimes you work so hard on something, and
It just blows up.
garbage. It's terrible, and as a streamer, you have to be able to be like, all right, well, if you guys don't like that, then fuck it, we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, that
Right?
didn't work. Moving on.
Like you and I, GH, have worked on projects that are just like, just whatever, screw it, we're done. Let's move on. Negamir and I have done like lots of work on stuff for the bod, and it's just like, oh well, nobody cares about this at all. So you got to kind of be willing to move on in those same ways that you got to be willing to move on from some goals that aren't working or aren't working for you right now. It's just like, well, I guess this is not going to work right now, so let's do something else. I'm looking down at our time. I think we have time for just one more quick thing, which is something that Book Fairy brought up as far as introverts versus extroverts, both as viewers and as streamers. And I feel like Twitch breaks the wall between those two personalities. Like, I think if you watch my stream or interact with me or watch the podcast or whatever, you may think that I'm kind of an extroverted person, but I'm not at all. But on this platform, I can feel extremely confident and comfortable talking to people that I don't know, talking to groups of people. There's some anonymity, even being a streamer, there's some anonymity between you and your viewership. And so I think that Twitch really breaks that down for me. And I don't feel introverted or extroverted either streaming or as a viewer. I never feel like maybe when I first started to watch Twitch, I'm trying to think back. When I first started to watch Twitch, I would be like, oh, I don't want them to know I'm here. I'm just watching their stream or whatever. But, now I certainly don't feel uncomfortable chatting in a stream that I've never chatted in before. And I certainly don't feel uncomfortable seeing new people in my stream. But in person, in real life, I'm a very reserved, pretty quiet person until you get to know me. And then my personality is much more like what you see on stream. It's just like, I don't have to build up that comfort on Twitch because I've already done that. That was those first 6 months of streams kind of deal. And now I feel like if you're here, you want to be here and you want to chat with me or hear stories that I'm telling or whatever. But I'm wondering, is there a difference between, tell me about would you consider yourself an IRL extrovert, introvert? Do you think that changes the way you stream, changes the way you watch Twitch as a viewer at all?
I think working retail and being a waitress and a bartender, I got the skills to just talk to random strangers and not care. But if you see me going to go get a blizzard at Dairy Queen, I'm gonna not talk to you because I really just want to get my ice cream. If I don't have to have
I thought you hated ice cream.
Oh my god. Regardless, I think I'm introverted in a unique way. I don't know. IRL, if I don't know you and I don't have to out of a job have to talk to you, I don't really want to talk to you. But on Twitch, that's full of friends. That's lots of new friends I can meet that don't have me drive over to their house.
I just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I get to stay in my PJs and have friends. So I don't know.
You've talked a lot about this. I feel like as far as you enjoy being around other people, but it's also very draining. That's kind of a classic introvert.
So my sister has actually convinced me that I'm a social introvert, and I don't have a problem talking to people, but I am a loner, and sometimes to the chagrin of my own family. Not that I don't love my wife and kids, but a lot of times if you just gave me a block of 2 hours and said hey, you could do whatever you want, you could be with whoever you want to be, a lot of times I not even because I'm trying to get away from any of my friends or family. A lot of times I think my brain just immediately defaults to I just want to go chill somewhere by myself. I just want to go watch a movie. I just want to go play some games. I just want to go chill, lay down. And but yeah, I love being with people. I love like talking with people, but it takes it out of me. It's like when I have to go to a family event, whether it's my family or her family, or whether I'm going out with friends to go see a movie. Like once I know I'm doing it, I'm excited to do it. But both before I actually commit to it, and then after I'm done with it, I'm like anxious about it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know where that lands me on the spectrum there, but I'm definitely, I would say at least on some levels, I'm an introvert just because I do really enjoy being a loner when I have the chance to be.
Looks like sex is great, but have you ever canceled plans last minute?
Like 6 podcasts in a row, I think we canceled.
Yeah, wow.
No, Dice, you strike me as somebody who can have a conversation with anybody, and not just on Twitch. Is that true?
Oh man, you kind of nailed it. That was kind of what I was going to say.
Okay,
Actually, well, I was. Cheers. No, I would consider myself mostly an extrovert. I still have those sort of like loner tendencies when it comes to my own free time. I love nothing more than staying inside on a beautiful day and playing Division 2 for like 12 hours. I don't often seek places out, but if you put me in a crowded room, you know, I always used to say I had this one bar that I was a regular at back when I lived on a different apartment on the other side of the city. But I was a regular at this bar, and I knew when there was someone new there, I was like, I don't know you. I'm going to go talk to this guy. And I'd at least talk to him for like 5 minutes. My old saying was that there are no strangers in this bar, just friends I haven't met yet. And I'm going to go fucking talk to them, whether they want to or not. And if I get the vibe they don't like me, that's fine. I'll leave. But I'll strike up a conversation with anyone.
Awesome.
If it's such a situation where you know there could be common interest, so sports games, bars, concerts, and that's why I think even if you're more of an introverted person, you probably feel safer on Twitch, is because everyone here has a shared interest in live content, whether it's gaming, music, art, whatever else. You know that you're immediately going to have something in common. And that makes it easier to converse with internet strangers. And then over time, a lot of us end up becoming friends. But I would consider myself fairly extroverted. I don't get nervous. I think I'm a decent public speaker. I spent a lot of time in music, performing on stage.
And teaching.
Yeah. So like learning how to talk to people you don't know, especially when they're like 6th graders and you're like 25 and fat, just like, here kid, I'm gonna teach you how to play these drums, teach you how to not suck at drumming.
That actually horrifies me.
Probably. But you have to have a. I didn't teach like that. I was exaggerating for comedic effect.
No,
but
just
that's
like
okay.
being in a room with a.
Oh no, okay. I thought you meant this terrifies you, and I'm like, hey kids, come here. Okay, I didn't really do that. I didn't do that, Fish. I didn't actually teach that way.
I don't want you to be my drum teacher.
I didn't do that.
He was dressed up as the Grimace from McDonald's.
Right? Yeah.
See Grimace walking around like that.
I didn't actually do that. That's something that would intimidate. Like I've done it for so long, I guess, and everything's a stage, right? The whole world's a stage. So.
Yeah, I blame Necrospider. I'm sorry.
It's interesting to me the variety of people who stream on Twitch, how they answer that question. And there's way more introverts really than I would have expected to see on the platform. And I think it is kind of what I said before. It just kind of breaks down that wall, and you just, like you said, and you said too, Dice, it's just, you're here for a common purpose. You want to watch this game, you want to hang out with this person, and you're there as a choice, not because anybody's forcing you to hang
right.
out. Except for GH, who has to watch all of my streams.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that I hate, even as an extrovert, because in my job I have a lot of mandated ongoing training and seminars and things that I have to go to. I'm in a room with like 50 911 dispatchers from all over the state, and I'm like, I'm sure you are all just as miserable as I am, so I'm not going to talk to any of you. If it's work related, I don't say a thing. And then what does the person do at the front of the class? All right, we're going to go around the room, and I want you to tell me who you are, which agency you work for, and how long you've been a dispatcher. And I just go...
Forced icebreakers are cringe.
And I'm just thinking, like, This guy wants to go home. This guy wants to go home. The other 45 people in this room want to go home. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. And then it gets around to me and I just go, no. And then they give me a weird look and I go, moving on. Until I refuse to tell anyone why I'm there. That's one thing I will not talk to a crowd about. Nope. Not in work meetings.
I don't like that either.
I hate forced interaction or icebreakers. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like
So
when I was in
gross.
school, break into small groups, do
Ugh.
project in groups.
Yeah. The last time I did it, I said my name, how many years I've been dispatching, and then I said that I believe hot dogs are sandwiches.
But
And-
you've since.
I'm clear that it's a taco. I'm clear that hot dog's a taco. But immediately the guy next to me goes, a hot dog's a fucking hot dog. What are you talking about? I completely derailed the whole class. I was like, no, think about it, man. It's just a sausage sandwich. Like, waffle
You have to
cone,
use that-
waffle
you have to
cone,
use that
waffle cone.
carefully.
All right, she's gone.
You wielded a bomb
I did.
of sandwich discussion.
I did.
Why?
And a full of people that had never heard it before. So it was like, it was good. It was real good.
Friends, we've reached the end of yet another podcast, and as per usual, I have prepared a game for you today if everybody's ready to play. Last week, if we were going to go live, I did not have a game. I think Gamer Heroin prepared an emergency game now in case I ever don't
Let's do both
have a
games.
game.
Let's do your game and her game.
No. I'd have to. No,
Okay,
I don't have it open.
we'll plan for it. So
Your backup
this
game.
this game is called Show Me the Money. So in case you don't know, at the end of every podcast, I give the other panelists a small quiz. It's somewhat, sometimes kind of Twitch related. This one's not very Twitch related. Only in the game Show Me the Money, all three of you have a chatbot which gives out stream currency. No Dice on your stream, those are called chips. Waffle Cone on your stream, those are called waffles. And Gamer Heroin on your stream, those are called candies. So Gamer Heroin, I have 3 questions about candy for you. No Dice, I have 3 questions about chips. And Waffle Cone, I have 3 questions about waffles.
Wait, what kind of chips?
I think Waffle and I should switch.
Can we switch? Can me and Gene switch?
What kind of chips?
Potato chips.
Oh
No Dice.
fuck, man. Oh.
Potato chips. Okay, I've non-randomly selected who will go first, and it's going to be Gamer Heroin. Gamer Heroin, you're up first.
Okay.
Stupid game.
No, but let's go.
Gamer Heroin, this Halloween candy ranks the top favorite in Alabama, Iowa, Idaho, Michigan, New Mexico, and Nevada.
Is it specifically Halloween candy or just
Yes.
candy in general? Well, candy corn would be the
Yes.
obvious. Okay.
Yes.
Yay.
Horrible, horrible people.
Never visit Alabama, Iowa, Idaho, Michigan, New Mexico, or Nevada. They like
Waffle Cone, I feel like
candy
we're on the
corn
same
place.
page. Like, I'm like, who can like candy
I mean, I'll
corn?
eat it, but it's not my
It's pre-
favorite. What's wrong?
I think
with
it's
you people?
chalky.
It's
Candy
all
corn is
right.
gross.
I can eat it. I'm not gonna turn it
Lewis
down.
Black had an old bit where he was like, all candy corn that has ever existed was manufactured in 1950. Every year, they go to the trash cans at Halloween parties and pull out all the candy corn and then resell it the next year. That's Lewis
Oh,
Black.
God.
All
Yep.
right, No Dice is up next. No Dice. The world's largest bag of potato chips was 18 feet tall and weighed this much, within 300 pounds.
Within 300 pounds?
Yeah.
18 feet tall? How wide was it? Can I get the other dimensions? Because it's 18 feet tall, but three and a
That's
half
weird.
miles
No
long.
fucking clue.
3
I
miles
was supposed to
long.
Ask that.
Like, I need.
Let's say it's like a 2-to-1 ratio.
Can I see a picture of it? Like, guess the amount of marbles
Yeah,
in the
okay,
jar.
I think we can
You know
find
what I
a-
mean?
I
Are
think
we still
can
talking
find a
about
picture.
potato chips?
The
We
world's
are.
largest bag of potato chips.
World's largest bag. And what kind of chips were they?
They were natural British sea
God damn.
salt potato chips. All right,
Uh,
I found it. I found it.
post it in the
If-
chat so I can click
Yeah,
it
I'll
from
post
there.
it in the chat. I don't know if
Will it say the answer?
No.
Very direct notice.
Oh God, it's a big bag of chips.
That's a big old bag of
It's a
chips
big bag
right
of
there.
chips.
We're gonna need a
Corkers.
bigger bowl.
Corker's natural British something. I'm gonna say 600 pounds.
I'm sorry, the answer was 2,515
No fucking way.
pounds.
Well, they didn't leave the standard 7-foot pouch of air
didn't
that
leave the
comes in a
40%
regular
heavy.
bag of chips.
2,515 pounds.
Oh my god.
All right, we're moving on. Waffle cone. Waffle cone waffles inspired this famous shoemaker's first pair of sneakers.
What?
I'm looking for the company.
I have an idea.
I'm gonna say Adidas.
No, I'm sorry. Gamer Heroine?
Asics?
No, it was Nike.
Nike?
really?
Oh.
That's so
And even
easy.
if you ever seen the movie Prefontaine, he put the rubber into a waffle iron for the bottom of the sneaker.
Gives it the flex.
Oh.
Okay, back to Gamer Heroine. Gamer Heroine. White chocolate is not technically real chocolate because it lacks this.
I thought white chocolate just had extra fat that was skimmed off or pre-skimmed off. What is it missing? It can't be cocoa, otherwise it wouldn't be chocolate, right? I don't know. Sugar, cocoa, fat. I mean, that's what's in. Is it cocoa? Waffle's judging me. I don't know.
You just said it's technically not chocolate because it's missing this. So you're like, well, it can't be cocoa.
Because then it wouldn't be chocolate.
Cocoa.
Cocoa, final answer?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, it's cocoa. Waffle cone fucking gave away he gave it
It's just
away.
like, it just sounded so funny. You were like, it's technically not chocolate because it doesn't have this, and you're like, well, it can't be cocoa because then it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be chocolate.
I've been drinking this delicious orange vanilla with vodka in it.
Welcome to the After Down
This
podcast.
also happened since the last podcast.
Oh,
Let's talk about
it's
orange
so
Coke.
good, GH. It's so good.
Oh
I
my
could
God.
do a
Tried it.
15-minute
Wait, what?
segment on vanilla or
Apparently, I need to try this new Coke.
it's really good. No dice. A Cheeto, no dice, a Cheeto, resembling this famous zoo animal, sold on eBay in 2017 for nearly $100,000.
So stupid.
A Cheeto?
So stupid. Why are people so stupid? Oh, I need to find something. I
What
can
does a
tell anything
Cheeto
like
look? What could a Cheeto look like?
A Cheeto resembling this famous zoo animal sold on eBay in 2017 for nearly $100,000.
God, GH, that swallow was so loud. They heard that on the podcast. Gulp. I'm gonna.
It's the asthma.
I'm gonna
got
say.
the asthma.
I'm gonna say a giraffe.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm going to give you another shot at this. It's a very specific,
Oh, a specific animal. A specific
Animal.
zoo animal.
yeah, famous zoo animal.
I'm sticking with giraffe. No, I don't.
Gary. the giraffe.
Gary the giraffe. Was it the famous gorilla that knew how to do sign language?
That was Coco the gorilla. Is that your final
Yes,
answer?
Coco the gorilla.
Would
No,
it
because
help
then it
No
wouldn't be
Dice?
real
That's
chocolate.
that's incorrect. Would it help No Dice if I said that the person who bought it on eBay had their dick out?
Oh, Harambe. So it was a
Harambe.
gorilla. It was a gorilla, though.
It
I'll
was
take
a gorilla.
it.
was
Half credit.
Harambe.
Can I get half credit? Can I get half a point?
Hell no.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Cheetos out for Harambe.
Waffle cone. The word waffle descends from this language's word for wafer.
Oh. Oh. Oh, this makes so much sense. Assuming I'm right.
I'm gonna go German.
Close. Dice.
Belgium.
Okay, I thought it was German. I thought it was
It's
German
Dutch.
too.
Dutch.
It's
Ah.
Yeah, it's very.
You know what?
close.
There's only two type of people in this world that I hate: people that are intolerant of other people's cultures,
And
and
the
the Dutch.
All right, GH. It takes a human this many average licks to reach the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop. It's a spread of about just over 100, and I will say that it's less than 500 if you guess within.
It's
you'll
not
get
3?
They bid it. The owl bid it, GH. It's canon.
He cheated.
A two,
It's
a
not 3.
three.
The world may never
3.
know. Oh shit. I know I
We all
counted
remember
once
that
when I was a
commercial,
kid.
though,
I
right?
was that kid.
That commercial was on right before the what was the How to Make an Amendment or whatever it was, the Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh
Oh.
yeah. I'm just a bill.
Could you repeat those
I'm
numbers?
only a bill.
And I'm
Sorry?
sitting
Could you
here
repeat the
on
numbers?
Capitol Hill.
You said like a
Sizzle's
spread
got it.
of.
How
It's
one-
under 500, and it's a spread of about 100. If you guess any of the numbers, and then I'll give it to you.
530.
Well, considering GH that I just said it was less than 500, that is incorrect.
Less than
Oh, my
500? I'm
lips.
sorry.
GH sip. It takes the average human between 144 and 252 licks to get the.
Well, that's the only one I got wrong. I'll take it.
Yeah,
She can
GH
barely
is
understand the
we are
questions.
gonna finish
She's
out.
still
This
winning.
This is for Pride now. This is for Pride. No dice. This is the top selling chip on Super Bowl weekend.
Ooh.
Just take the brand. Brand is fine.
It's got to be either like, I'm thinking like it's got to be like some kind of a nacho chip for salsa and cheese dip, or Doritos. It's gonna be one of those. I'm gonna go with Doritos.
Yes, that's right. It's Doritos. It's Doritos.
Pride points.
Doritos.
Pride
points.
points indeed. All right,
Look
you
at
can
all
tie for
those
Waffle
Doritos in
Cone.
chats.
The Dorito emote.
Waffle Cone. August 24th is International Waffle Day because on this day in 1869, Cornelius Swarthout received the first U.S. patent for this.
The Waffle Iron.
Yes, indeed, it's the waffle iron.
I would be so concerned if it was anything else.
Rip Van Waffle went back in time to figure that.
All right.
Save
Gamer
myself
Heroine
from-
is our champion.
Wow,
Nice.
GH wins.
Eight.
Congratulations. It
I
was
feel
2
like-
to 1 to 1.
That was earned. That was earned.
I'm gonna take 1.5 for getting the gorilla right.
You just named a gorilla. That's not a half a point.
How am I supposed to guess a Cheeto could ever look like a gorilla? Like that is
It
like
looks just
snake.
Haram- Can we find a picture of
Deer.
this before we end this podcast? Cheeto Harambe.
Oh, good night.
God.
God, there's so.
That's a
There are lots of
dangerous
Cheetos
Google
that
search.
look like Harambe.
Dangerous
I gotta look it up
Google
now.
search.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna post it in the channel. Oh my God.
That's
this is-
why I won Define
This
Odds.
is worth it. There you go. There you go, you guys.
That's
So,
so
somebody bought that for $100,000.
That's bullshit, man. You turn it sideways, it's all right. It kind of
Pretty
looks
sure
like
that was
a
a
gorilla.
stolen credit card, by the way. That was just somebody straight up ganked a credit card.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 11 of the Ladders Down After Dark podcast. As always, thanks everybody for being friendly to our new folks on the Discord. It goes a long way. I know everybody's on 8 million Discords. We recently had the Purge, which I think went pretty smoothly. It kind of had the effect that we hoped it would have, which is that the vast majority of you just re-upped and had the streamer roll back on and you went live and it was no big deal. If you see anybody that you feel like has a white name on the Discord and should have a purple name, feel free to just remind them that they need to go re-add the streamer role. But other than that, I feel like the Purge went really well. It's something we'll probably do twice a year. And so we probably won't do this again until the early fall, where we'll just have you do the same thing. But it went really super well. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, make sure to Ladders Down is all word of mouth. So, you know, I try to talk about Ladders Down. Of course, as an admin, it's a little different, but I do try to talk about Ladders Down at least a couple times a week, and post the link to the Discord. And you know, we usually see some new folks over there, and I know you guys are doing the same thing because we're seeing people join every single day. So thank you for all your support. I am Fish Suit. You can catch me on Twitch and Twitter, FSHSUIT, and until 2 weeks from now.
My name is Gamer Heroine, also known as GH. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, and find it all through my Twitch. So
It's me. I'm Waffle Cone. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I am on Twitch as well, and I have a Twitch. It is @WaffleCone_. And go buy some Ladders
yeah.
Down gear.
Get
I
some
got
of
my
this.
T-shirt. So excited. That does not benefit me, but it's awesome, and I guarantee you guys will not regret it at all.
I have my coffee mug here too. I didn't even notice it. I should have been
Nice,
sipping
dude.
whiskey out of this. My name is Node Ice TV. You can find me on Twitch at Node Ice TV and Twitter at Node Ice TV. By the way, I'm talking about social media milestones. I'm 1 follower away from 300 followers on Twitter.
Let's get that happen, Ladders Down. Let's make
Yeah.
that happen.
Partner, here I
Hey.
come. Verified Twitter
Woo.
user. Who we raiding? Fish
We're
soup?
gonna go raid a member of Ladders Down. It's Gold Player Mythic, and Dice. Once we end stream here, you'll see his link in our admin chat. And he's definitely taken advantage of everything that Ladders Down. He's posting about his special events. He's interacting with everybody in the chat. So let's go give him some love, guys. If you have any of the Ladders Down emotes, spam them in chat with some Ladders Down love. Pick your favorite Ladders Down emotes. There's a lot of great ones out there, and even more now. We're going to go host Mythic. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks so much for being here.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
See ya.